How do you get a woman who's just about getting it in, just about having one night stand, just about having sex, to become a woman who's into monogamous relationships, to commit to them? And how do you get a woman who's into monogamy, all about she want a man that ain't gonna cheat on, about the fantasy, the fairy tale, to be about polygamy, polyamory, however you want to call it, to be about having more than one partner? Now, I think this is a very interesting question, and there may be some guys who would run this down and give you a whole bunch of insight. But salute to the homie Tim. Tim, I'm gonna have to tear this one all the way down to its very least compound. This is the thing you have to understand. A woman is only gonna follow a man she feels like it take her somewhere she's never gone. See, this isn't about getting a woman to do anything. You can't stand back and tell a woman, hey, do this. You got to lead her into where you want her to go. And this is all about how you initiate interaction with the woman. That's why I always say, let women choose. If a woman chooses, she's already let you know that she's willing to submit, and to some extent, choosing on you is a woman putting herself out there, sacrificing her pride in order to let you know that she's into you, whether you may be into her or not. It takes a woman making a real strong commitment when she chooses on you. Now, choosing on you and seeing you as a bag is something totally different. I've covered that before. I'm not talking about a woman who sees you and you look like money and she feel like you can take care of her. I'm talking about a woman who sees you and she chooses on you because she wants to have sex with you. Totally different thing. Women only choose on men they want to have sex with. A woman will approach you, or a woman will say something to you, or a woman will give you something that resembles a choosing sign. To you, it resembles a choosing sign, but she looks at you like somebody who can take care of her, provide for her financially. That's something totally different. Her interaction with you is different. You can't do the things I say that I do to women when you meet them if they don't choose on you because they want to get with you. Let's think of another term to call when a woman chooses on you, quote unquote chooses on you because she sees you a financial come up. We're gonna use the word choose, because choosing is a word that comes straight from pimping. We're nobody using the word choosing on you before pimping. It's strictly a pimp term. And so when you take that in mind, you understand that choosing simply means a woman sees you and she wants you, and she lets you know that she wants you. She wants you so much that she lets you know that she wants you. Now, let's talk about this. If a woman is about monogamy, you can't convert that woman into a woman who accepts polygyny. You see, having a woman go along with something to get along is not accepting it. When a woman accepts something, she contributes to it positively. She contributes positive energy to it. When a woman doesn't accept something, but she just goes along to get along, she's always complaining about it. She's always in a bad mood about it. She's always bringing negative energy about it. She's always trying to stir up drama about it. She's always trying to do something to subtly display her displeasure with the arrangement. So technically speaking, in the real world, you don't want a woman who wants monogamy to fall into a scenario where she's willing to deal with polygyny. You having multiple women, being a sister wife. See what I'm saying? You have to understand that a woman who wants monogamy was raised to believe monogamy is what she deserves. She was raised to believe that monogamy is what and she'll entertain the idea a little bit. She'll fool around with the idea. She'll play around with the idea. She'll run it through her mind. But you don't want a woman who goes for something. You want a woman who accepts something. And a woman who accepts something has to already be accepting of the idea anyway. See, I've talked to women, man. I recently talked to a woman, man, who was saying that she understands that a man needs multiple women. She was saying that she understands that one woman can't meet a man's needs. That in order for a man to be happy, he has to have at least 2 women. But then she turned right around and said she can't deal with a man having another woman. You see what I'm saying? Even when a woman understands that this is what a man needs to be whole, to be complete, to be happy in a relationship, she still can't do it for the most part. Now, the one caveat to this is if you're just a hell of a man, which you probably can only be to a woman that chooses on you. If a woman chooses on you, she's pretty much letting you know already that she thinks you're a hell of a man. All you got to do is just be the man. You know what I'm saying? If you're a hell of a man and a woman sees that, and then she chooses on you, and then you prove that, and then not prove, but you pan out to be that, the hell, you're even a better man than she thought you were, not because you're trying to impress her, but because you're just an amazing man. That woman will do anything, pretty much. That's the only woman you can get to accept it. I mean, to go along with it. You're not going to get a woman to accept it who doesn't accept it. It's like a woman who doesn't accept that Christianity is foolishness. If a woman been raised in the church and she's been taught her whole life that Christianity is the truth and she actually believed it, she never had a doubt about it. She always thought that was the way it was supposed to be. You're not going to change that woman into accepting anything about Hebrew living. You're not going to be able to change her and tell her that this is the way she's to live her life if it ain't got nothing to do with Christianity. In order for you to change a woman, in order for you to have a woman accept your new Hebrew way of living, honoring the statutes and commandments of the Most High, and that is it, she's going to already have to have had some doubts about Christianity. There's already going to have to be some holes that she needs to have filled. So when a woman is already set in her ways, you're not going to get her to accept anything that doesn't go along with what she already thinks. She'll deal with it and she'll go along to get along, but she won't contribute positively to the arrangement, which means that eventually her energy will be negative and affect the whole situation negatively. Now, let's talk about the woman who only wants to get it in. The woman who only wants sex. The woman who just views relationship as a means to get sex. How do you change that woman into a monogamous woman? Man, you shouldn't want to do that. That's the equivalent of changing a hoe into a housewife. You can't change a hoe into a housewife. You see what I'm saying? What men have to understand is the woman you meet is the woman you get. You can't change a hoe into a housewife. You can't change a housewife into a hoe. It's the same principle that women have. The man that they see as their husband is not the man that they see as the man they desire sexually. If they see you as their husband, they see you as husband material, they don't see you as the man they want to let their hair down and get all freak nasty with. It's the same principle with women. If a woman let me tell you the mindset it takes for a woman to accept just pretty much just freely giving herself away sexually to whoever she wants to. That woman has whole tendencies. You see what I'm saying? And you can't take a woman who has whole tendencies. See, every woman has whole thoughts. We're not talking about thoughts here. Every woman has whole thoughts. There aren't many women who haven't dreamed of or thought about or fantasized about being a stripper, being an exotic dancer. But there are some women who went ahead and acted upon it, and they were strippers at some point in their lives. You understand? There are other women who weren't strippers by profession, but those women have gone out with their friends, maybe in New Orleans somewhere, or in Vegas, somewhere where you go and things that happen there stay there. Cancun or somewhere, got drunk and got up on a table, and damn, they got naked in a bar, on the table, dancing, to fulfill her stripper fantasy. She has potencies. And if a woman is just out there willing to sleep around, then she has whole tendencies. I'm not saying it's good or bad. I'm saying that if you want a woman that's going to give you a good time, she's the woman that you want. If you want a woman that you want to settle down with and try to build something with, she's not the woman you want. You can't change women into what you want them to be. That's like trying to change the nature of a woman. Her nature is what it is, man. You can't change it. You can try to change it. Tell her what you want her to do. She'll go along to get along. You'll think you've got yourself something. Put yourself in the situation, become fully invested in the situation, and lose the hell out in the end because you've been wasting your time. If these numbers are right, man, I got 45 watching, 46 watching, man. I got 14 likes, man. That ain't what's up, homies. Gareth MC, man, I appreciate the super chat. Y'all know I'm riding down the slab, man, so bear with me. King George III, man, I appreciate the $2 super chat. Homie says, gave back them keys. Real doubt. No doubt, homie. So you got to understand this, man. Yes, in a perfect world, man, you meet a woman and she has all the characteristics except, hey, man, she's just like, she believes sleeping around is okay. You know what I'm saying? She don't want no relationship. You know what I'm saying? She just want to kick it. Let me tell you what happens. This is what happens when you meet a woman and she just want to kick it. She just want to have a strictly sexual relationship. She don't want no strings attached. She want to have a no strings attached relationship. And you find yourself want to attach some strings. You got into your emotions. You're approaching that situation from a feminine perspective. And I know how Tim is. Tim don't even live his life like this. Tim ain't finna meet a broad and try to change it, but he just tries to come up with interesting questions. He actually tries to come up with topics and questions to help the AlphaSphere. So he's not asking this question from the perspective of being a man who wants to do this. You know what I'm saying? You can tell by the men he supports that this ain't his wheelhouse. So he's asking this question as a great question for me to share the answers with the AlphaSphere as a whole. So solid shout out to Tim, man, for being a top level supporter of mine, and also, man, tailoring his questions to benefit the men of the manosphere, of the AlphaSphere as a whole. So you have to understand this, man. You get too emotional and caught up in your damn emotions when you want to try to change a woman into what you want her to be. You the type of man that'll take a zebra and put a horn on his head and tell people you got a damn unicorn. And they ask, well, why your unicorn got stripes on it? You'll tell them it's a zebriatic unicorn. It's the best kind of unicorn there is. You see what I'm saying? Ain't no unicorns, homie. If you meet a woman, accept her for who she is. Because if you try to change her, she's not going to change. She's going to rearrange, but she's not going to change. And anything that's rearranged can be arranged again to be what it originally was. Because it never is truly what it was rearranged to be. You understand what I'm saying? You see what we talking about right here, man? We talking about top level game. We talking about top level information that men need when they pursue these things with women, because a woman will, and by the same token, if a woman comes to you as one way and she suddenly changes, you have to accept that who she was originally is more than likely a front. Who she's turned into is who she is. Now, this isn't you changing a woman. This is a woman changing on her own. If a woman comes to you and she's a thought, and suddenly she changes her thought ways, she didn't change her thought ways because she became who she really was. She changed her thought ways because somewhere along the line you get mouth too much and told her what you want out of a woman. Women don't change on their own. Women only change for 3 reasons. They change because of some heartache or devastating situation in a relationship. They change because they become caught up in societal norms, societal expectations, feminism or something like that. And they change because you as a man have let them know that it benefits them in their interaction with you to change. Because a job has let them know it benefits her in her interaction with them in order to change. Because an organization or a group has let them know, and let her know because that changing benefits her in her interaction with them. Those are the only 3 reasons women change. A woman is not going to automatically, suddenly change into something on her own. And by the same token, when you try to change her into something, that is when, it's really just opposites. It's just a reversal. When you change a woman in what you want her to be, she's still what she originally was. When a woman changes into what she becomes on her own, then she changes. She transmogrifies into her true self. You got to keep that in mind. You got to keep that in mind. That's the reality of the situation. That's the reality of the scenario, man. You can't turn a hoe into a housewife. And you can't turn a housewife into a hoe. I had it. And I told you about this story, man. Turned my hoe into a housewife. And little did he know her desire but still to be my hoe. You know what I'm saying? She became his housewife, but her desire is still to be my hoe. And honestly, for a while, she was. I ain't gonna lie about it, man. Honestly, for a while, she was still my hoe. A very thorough hoe at that. One of my top 3 hoes. And when I say that, you may look at it and say, I think I'm talking about sex. I'm talking about a little bit of that, but you got to understand this, man. This is the thing about the ism. This is why I approach things from this level. This is why I'm broaching this topic from this perspective. You see, the thing about a pimp, you see, if you're a regular man and you got a hoe, all you think about is how freaky she is. But see, that ain't a hoe. That's a freak. That's a big difference. When I say a hoe, I'm talking about a woman that was happy and pleased and felt blessed to be able to contribute to my process. She wanted to see me win so much that she had to contribute to it. A woman that won't contribute to your process don't want to see you win, man. Any woman that doesn't contribute to your process does not want to see you win. See, these are the type of things that men need to be focusing on. You understand what I'm saying? Stop thinking about how to get a relationship. Stop thinking about how to make a woman into what you want her to be. You can't raise no grown woman, man, to be what you want her to be. You got to, man, let me tell you something, bro. If her daddy didn't raise her to be the woman you want her to be, then she ain't gonna never be that woman, homie. That's the reality of it. Women only change when being the way they are doesn't benefit them anymore. You understand? That's why Amber Rose can be the way. If Amber Rose had a regular job out here in the world, she wouldn't be the way she is. She wouldn't be posting those pictures of herself on Instagram. She does that because she can afford to. When a woman gets to a certain age and her thought tendencies don't pay, she cuts them off. And that's when some beta male vagina finds her and feel like he's got him a good woman. You know, she ain't got but 2 children. You know, she been married. You know, she ain't had that many men, and they feel like he got it. It's a figment of your imagination, bro. KG3, I appreciate the super chat. Homie said, homie, feel good being your own boss. It does, man. It ain't even about the money when it comes to being your own boss, man. It feel good, man, making your own schedule. It feel good, man, going where you want to go. It feel good doing your schedule how you want to. You know what I'm saying? When I take on a new client, I don't take on clients anymore, but, you know, if I took on a new client, I fit them into my schedule where I have a hole, where I want them to be. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any more holes in my morning, so if they were or somebody wanted to train in the morning, they either have to find somebody else or they have to adjust their schedule and come in the afternoon. See what I'm saying? I'm not saying my morning is absolutely slam full every day. I have days of the week when my mornings aren't full. But I'm not finna train nobody on those days. I have other things to do on those days. I have other business endeavors to tend to on those days. You know what I'm saying? So what I say to you, man, is this, man. The idea of changing a woman into what you want her to be is just not a good idea. You know what I'm saying? It's not the best thing for a man to do. It's not the best thing for a man to consider. You know what I'm saying? It's not realistic. You're putting yourself in a situation where you're working your ass off to build a woman into something that she'll never be. You know what I'm saying? And I wouldn't advise any man to do that. If she's not a hoe already, you're not going to make her one. If she's not a housewife already, you're not going to make her one. Listen, I've met women who are housewife types. And even me, as raw as I am, I got them to come out of their shell a little bit, but they were so far in their shell that she was never going to be a boss freak. You know what I'm saying? Now, when she get old, you know what I'm saying, where she understands she has absolutely nothing else to offer a man of value, she may try some new things then. But she won't be with me at that point. You know what I'm saying? The bottom line is this, man. You shouldn't want to change a woman who's all about monogamy and settling down and doing all that. You shouldn't change her. You shouldn't want to change her into a thought. Because this is what you have to understand. I'm going to sum this up like this. And it's going to be the realest part of this whole exchange, man. You can't turn a woman into anything. All you can do is be so damn raw that she'll do whatever is required to be with you. You can't. There's no magic potion to change a woman into anything. All you can do is be so raw and have such high value in her life that she'll be willing to conform and do whatever the hell you want her to do. That's how that goes. That's why some men can't get no head from their woman, and then another man can get head, leg, and bread from that same woman without giving her anything but attention, without giving her anything but presence. You know what I'm saying? You got another man over here that whining and dining and doing all type of things for a man. He can't even get no head. See what I'm saying? If you want to change a woman, if you want a woman to fall in line, then you got to be upper echelon, man. You got to be upper echelon. And when I say upper echelon, let me tell you something. There's some rich men that can't get a woman to do what they want her to do. You know what I'm saying? There's some average men out here who can, as far as financial. So you know, some middle of the road financial men can do that. You see, this ain't about money. This ain't about game. This is about energy, man. And if a woman ain't feeling your alpha energy, certain shit you ain't gonna be able to get her to do. That's why I always say pimps were the first alphas. Because nobody has ever gotten women to do such unscrupulous things happily, with joy in their heart, knowing that it'll please their man, than pimps. So shout out to all the brothers, historically, who have been a part of the ism. And to all you suckers that say, my pimp brethren and I have been the ones who have turned women into these things. You don't understand the nature of women. You don't understand the nature of women. She is what she is. Don't hate me just because I capitalize on it. She is who she is. Don't hate me just because I accept that and make her comfortable being that around me. See what I'm saying? Don't hate me because of that. Hate you because you got too much beta male energy in your heart, in your soul. You have the spirit of a beta male mangina. So instead of embracing the truth and realities of life, you want to blame another man for creating that truth. Truth was here before I was born, huh? So everything I tell you about a broad and how to deal with her is based on you understanding and accepting the realities of life, man. I hate this spot right here, man. It's a real lumpy spot right here, man. Let me get up, man. I got the low profile tires, man. It feels raggedy going through that. I feel like I'm gonna tear the bottom off my whip. So you gotta understand this, man. Your life is what the hell it's gonna be. A woman don't owe you nothing. You know what I'm saying? A woman is not gonna fall in the line just for anybody. A woman ain't just gonna come up and fall in line because you're a man. A woman ain't gonna come up just to accept your rule because you're a man. A woman ain't gonna just come up and submit to you because you're a man. You have to be a phenomenal man. You have to be an extraordinary motherfucker, man. So you gotta be. See, this is the thing. The reason why the sole focus of so many men is sex, because you can have one thing in line and get sex. One thing and get sex. There are women out here who get turned on by money. Literally. I've met women who get turned on by money. Money turns them on. You come up blinged up. You know what I'm saying? If your diamond sparkling for two can Sam Fruit Loops, she get wet, man. She want that. So if your ass ain't got no money, you ain't gonna get her. Money turns her on. If you look like money, name brands turn her on. She loves that. She'll spend $180 on a t-shirt because it's got a name on it. She can't afford nothing else from the name, so she'll spend $180 on a t-shirt. See what I'm saying? If you ain't got no money, you can't turn her on, home. I don't care what your body look like. Your body don't turn her on. And then there's another woman who's all about abs. Hell, if you got a six-pack, you can damn near knock her down. She don't care about nothing else. You ain't even got to be handsome in the face. There's a woman out there that just wants that something about a chiseled body turns her on, man. Gets her dripping. Gets her dripping and baby sipping. You understand what I'm saying? So you got to understand this. When it comes to sex, you can have one thing in line and get sex. That's why I don't get into these questions about sex, about what it takes to get sex. It don't take much. You know what I'm saying? You can be fat and broke and talk your way into some sex with an attractive woman. You can be fat and broke and talk your way into sex with an attractive woman. I've seen it happen. I've known it to happen. You know what I'm saying? So you got to understand this, man. The reality of this is this. The things I'm talking about are mastering a woman, man. Controlling her. Not because you forced her to fall in line with your control. Nah. Controlling her because she has relinquished control of herself to the energy that is overwhelming her. Telling her that you're her master. Telling her that you are the one that God sent to her. Telling her that you and her were made for each other. Telling her to find some way not to feel bad that she didn't meet you sooner. And ask you, where have you been my whole life? Having her do things that she hadn't done before. Having her say things that she hadn't said before. Feel things that she hadn't felt before. You got to have a certain energy, man. And most cats ain't got it. And if you ain't got it, tough tip. If you do have it, and you don't know how to cultivate it, you should go right over right now to bookaboutfraternity.com and grab How to Claim and Rebuild Your Manhood. And from there, you should be soaking up everything BoA drops. You should be a patron, soaking up some of that Patreon game. Because nobody else is going to tell you how to tap into your alpha essence like Dr. BoA. And I'm telling you, any man who's not tapped into his alpha essence, I don't care how rich he is, I don't care how chiseled his body is, I don't care how tall he is, I don't care how renowned he is, I don't care how well dressed he is. Man, he don't understand what it feels like to be a king to women, man. He don't understand what it feels like to be revered by women, man. He don't understand what it feels like, man, to have a woman willing to do anything to keep you from not being in her life. The worst thing, man, let me tell you something. Until you know what it feels like for the worst thing you can tell a woman to be, I don't want to be with you, I don't want to see you, I don't want to talk to you anymore. You don't understand, man, what it feels like to be in a position that God put you here to be in when it comes to women, bro. You lost on that. And that's cool. Not all men are going to feel that. My thing is there are men who are not feeling it, who could be feeling it. And if you want to feel it, homie, you in the right place. The AlphaSphere is that place. So I say to you, man, don't try to change her. She is who she is. And if you do change her, she's only going to change to go along, to get along, man. You understand? Because you validate her by letting her know, you'll be so perfect if you I want to marry you. When you start throwing words around ring, engagement, marriage, a woman do whatever the fuck you want her to do. Because she's trying to secure the bag at that point. If you let a woman know you the bag, she's going to secure the bag, homie. Any way she can. She'll hide her thought tendencies. She'll go from being a woman with a whole bunch of male friends, she'll go get another phone, she'll go get a texting app to keep her quote unquote male friends without you knowing. But she's not gonna change. I'm telling you what I know, homie, not what I think. KG3, man, I appreciate the super chats. KG3 said, preach BoA. I felt it all. That is the greatest feeling ever. Real talk, bro. Real talk. Heed the words of the homie KG3, man. King George III, man. He's just keeping it real in there. So I say this to you, man. I'm about to get ready to bounce up out this thing, man. I'm about to roll up on my clients. You have to understand, man. There's a certain type of man that a woman's gonna fall in line for. And even with that man, she's still not gonna fully become anything that's the opposite of who she is. She'll just work hard as hell to convince you that she accepts it. And eventually she'll be miserable in that position. See what I'm saying? The game is cop and blow, man. You know what I'm saying? The game is strictly cop and blow. You cop the broad, you blow the broad. You replace it with another broad that you copped. You blow another broad, you replace it with another broad you copped. That's the way this game goes, man. There ain't no, I want her to be with me forever. Why? What is she gonna do? Unless you've met that woman who's the yin to your yang, and I'm not saying that shit is impossible. I'm just saying that most niggas that's in relationships ain't in a relationship with a woman that's the yin to their yang. They tried to change it. They tried to change the whole entire housewife. Or they try to change housewife into a. See, this is the thing. You can meet a woman, man, that ain't about no sexual interaction, man. Like she lame sexually. And she'll give you some brain. And you be like, oh man, I got me a good one. Nah, man, she's a good girl and she give me brain. Man, let me tell you something. Getting brain is the tip of the sexual exploration iceberg. If that's all you getting from your woman, man, just brain. And it ain't even good, nasty, sloppy brain. It ain't valedictorian brain. It's cuckoo class brain. You know what I'm saying? You ain't getting valedictorian of the school. You getting smartest girl in the cuckoo class brain. You know what I'm saying? I ain't with that, homie. It's going to be done a certain way in my life, man. And in your life, it should too. So, how do you change a woman who wants monogamy into a woman who strictly wants to have a sexual relationship? You don't. How do you change a woman who strictly wants sexual relationships into a woman who wants to be monogamous? You don't. You accept women for who they are and capitalize on the benefits of those personality traits, of those characteristics. Otherwise, you're going to find yourself playing a fruitless game of putting the tail on the donkey when the donkey ain't got no ass. Y'all coming down below, man. Let me know, man, what you think about this topic, man. When this thing goes live and processes, man, y'all go ahead and comment on the joint, man. Those comments, man, help the channel a lot. I look forward to hearing what you, man, have to say. King George III, man, I appreciate the super chat. King George said that is the greatest feeling ever. King George also says, I'm trying to see it, man. Okay. Have had yin to the yang too. Yeah, you know, and that's the thing, man. You know, when you get the, you know, me myself, bro, I ain't never had the yin to my yang, man. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing for me. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no such thing as the yin to my yang, man. Ain't no woman, man, that's gonna prove herself to be perfect for me. Because that's the problem. It's hard. It's difficult. And women these days are lazy. There's no American woman who's gonna do it. I'm cool with that. I know that my requirements are stiff. They always have been. On every level of life I was in, my requirements for a woman have been stiff. You know, they've been pretty taught. They've been things that a woman has to really work toward. And these lazy women today, man, they ain't gonna work toward nothing. You know what I'm saying? They'll work toward things that they think bring them value, which causes them to feel like they don't have to work as hard to prove their value to you because they've got the things that they think bring value. And you should accept those things as value. You know what I'm saying? And that's just not how it goes, man. It don't work like that. Not for me. You know what I'm saying? When you're down with the PI, man, it just don't work for you like that. I know what I value, and if a woman ain't willing to prove that she brings that to the table, man, I don't want her anyway. So changing her into what I want her to be, I already know you can't do that. Unless you're a magician. See what I'm saying? So, anyway, homies. Y'all do that, man. Y'all come in, man, when this thing goes live, man. I appreciate everybody being in the joint. Another early Friday morning chopper member gang. I see you men again Monday morning for the early morning motivation show at 7 a.m. Central Standard Time, which will be 8 a.m. on the East Coast and 5 a.m. on the West Coast. Tonight, join me on the show, man. We'll be simulcasting, man, from 3 channels. The My Brethren podcast will be live tonight, 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast, and 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the West Coast. You men coming down below, man. We're going to get out of here. Peace.